Welcome back. An Ohio man admits he and his family slaughtered 8 members of another family. Law and Crime's Anjanette Levy explains how the guilty plea could tear apart the Wagner family's loyalty to one another.
Prosecutors have described the Wagner family as cult-like, but that could be changing as they sit in jail awaiting trial for the Roden and Gilly murders. For the first time since his younger brother Jake confessed to investigators, George Wagner appeared in court in what was supposed to be a hearing to argue motions. But Jake Wagner's guilty plea has changed things.
I think everybody's agreed that given recent events, that everybody needs to step back and reassess.
Last week, on the 5th anniversary of the murders, Jake Wagner pleaded guilty to a laundry list of charges, including conspiracy, aggravated murder, and unlawful sexual contact with a minor for his relationship with Hannah Mae Roden, the mother of his child. Prosecutors say Wagner admitted that custody of that child was the motive for the murders.
I agree to what the state has provided, and I'm deeply and very sorry.
Jake said his family planned and carried out the murders as most of the victims slept. The guilty plea represents a massive split among the Wagner family members, who had presented a united front for the last 5 years. Prosecutors wrote that the Wagners functioned as a unit at all times, residing together in a very insular manner, holding family meetings and voting on all affairs, including when it came to children and wives, and sharing financial resources and accounts. It's not clear what George Wagner will do after learning more about what his brother told investigators, and he said nothing as he left court.
Hi, George. Do you have anything to say?
Wagner remains in jail, where his attorneys have said in the past he sits in his cell and reads the Bible. He'll be back in court in June. For Law and Crime Daily, I'm Anjanette Levy.
Thanks, Anjanette. Let's bring in Imran and Terry one last time to discuss. Imran, Jake Wagner's guilty plea has to be throwing in somewhat of a monkey wrench for the other defendants. What do you think the attorneys for the others are saying to their clients right now?
Well, I would be very concerned about the information that was given to law enforcement and to prosecutors in advance of this plea deal, and how it's going to actually affect each of those other defendants, because it may implicate them, it may make them criminally culpable, and I think that their defense is going to be all the more complicated, Brian, after this development.
All right, now, Terry, I agree with Imran. It's going to get a lot more complicated, but it seems the death penalty is officially off the table. But do you expect pleas or trials after this? Or could maybe another family member say that the others were more involved than them?
You know what, Brian, anything is possible. This is what I'm hoping. I am hoping that we see trials and that the prosecution doesn't enter into a plea agreement with any of the other relatives, because anything less than a life sentence is not going to be enough. And we know that it's a life sentence because the plea deal that was taken made sure that each of them got life sentences and that there was no death penalty for any of them. So as far as I'm concerned, the heinous nature of this crime makes it so that they should serve as long as possible. And unless they have something that is additional or corroborating, I don't think they need to make any deals at all.
Now, Imran, maybe just my defense attorney mindset is spinning here. If I'm representing another Wagner, I may make the argument, whether true or not, we got to see how the facts lay. Jake Wagner was coerced. He's the younger brother. He's trying to help the family. Maybe what he's saying is not as true as it is. Maybe he's just trying to be a good kid and save the family. Could that be an argument for the other Wagners to save their case?
It could be, Brian, but it also could be the argument that he's giving information to save himself and whatever deal he may have worked out with the prosecutors. I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us here on Law and Crime Daily. We'll see you next time as we discuss justice in America.